Greetings! I'm Ben Benversi, the Science Communication Intern this summer at the UEC, here with the story about one of our interns. Paige Simenz grew up going to the Urban Ecology Center summer camps, and now she's facilitating that experience for other kids. Now in the role of teacher, she still finds herself learning all the time. That's something I took away from my conversation with Paige and throughout this summer at the Urban Ecology Center, whether on a bird walk, bumblebee survey, or just bumping into someone at the community gardens or on the trails. Everybody has something valuable to teach and share. This summer, Paige is an intern with the Community Programs Department, and I caught up with her during the last day of her first week teaching summer camp.
We are outdoor detectives this week, so each day we kind of have a theme or a mystery. Monday was getting to know Riverside Park. We did some scavenger hunt, fun. Tuesday was habitat, so we went for a hike, learned about habitats. Wednesday was water day, so we learned about our local Milwaukee River watershed, which is one of my personal favorite subjects, and then had water games in the afternoon. Thursday was meant to be a Hubbard Park day, but we got a new adventure with the rain. And then, today is Grand Finale Friday, so we started the day with geocaching to kind of go back and test their knowledge, how they've gone to know the park, and then afternoon is kind of their choice, whatever they have the most fun doing this week.
Cool. Okay, so you really like talking about the watershed.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you approach teaching 9 and 10-year-olds about really complex things like that?
Yeah, it's something, I think the key is making it really engaging, almost kind of turning each activity, each lesson into a game. And since we're outdoor detectives, we kind of framed it as a mystery that they need to solve.
Okay.
Our big question of the day was kind of, where does the water go? So we started by establishing that water will move downhill, and then we followed the path. If water were to fall in our park, we kind of followed, every time we'd get to like a break in the path, we would choose, and we'd use the expert water as evidence, dump a little out on the path and see which way it would flow, and we followed it until eventually we reached the Milwaukee River. And we talked a little bit about all 5 Great Lakes then, the HOMES acronym, and then we made boats out of natural materials that they found around to sail all the way down into Lake Michigan and throughout the rest of the watershed. Not all of them were that sturdy, but, we made it.
What kind of stuff did they use?
They got super creative, which was fun. I mean, they thought of things I would never think of. They used some leaf veins that they found on the ground to tie together different sticks. Some used mud to patch things together. They used the leaves as sails. It was super fun to watch.
That's cool.
So just anything that will help them get their hands on and get to understand it through doing things.
Right, yeah. What other hands-on stuff have you been doing this week with the kids? We've
been doing, I guess with our habitat day, we were kind of searching for habitats as we went throughout our hike.
Okay.
And so, stopping at different places, looking, having them answer, who might live here, why might they live here. And then, between the scavenger hunt and the geocaching today, giving them the opportunity to lead us around the park and, even letting them make mistakes if that's what happens, but letting them figure out the answer so they get that real sense of accomplishment at the end and know that they figured out their way around the park and really get to claim. Then they kind of feel, not ownership, but they feel like this place is really special to them and they know it. And they feel comfortable and proud of this park that they have.
Yeah, that's cool. So where do you come from in terms of, why did you end up here as an intern this summer, and what's your relationship with this park here?
Yeah, so I grew up in Shorewood, so not too far away at all, and I grew up coming to camps here. I can't even remember how many summers, but it was definitely like an every summer given thing. I was so stoked for that week of the summer when I get to go to Urban Ecology Camp with my buddies, and then I went to Atwater Elementary School, so we had educators come a few times a year to do urban ecology trips. I would come here with friends and family. And I definitely super early on got the sense that we're really trying to give them that you feel proud of this spot in nature, because a lot of times, especially living in Milwaukee, kids don't really get the chance to go outside and play in the woods or the river. or even if they are, they don't really recognize it as nature. And so super early on, I had this sense that whenever I was here, I was exploring, I was doing big things, I was making scientific discoveries, and that...
Hey, look at that.
A toad! Hello, sweet friend.
That means
That means he likes you. Yeah, I mean, even things like that. I was just finding toads all around and really just becoming a part of this park, and that stayed with me throughout my entire life. Right now I'm studying environmental science in college, and my goal eventually is to teach environmental education. And yeah, that's kind of why I'm at UEC, is just to try to give back all that this center has given to me and informing my passions, what I want to do. Because my family was never one. You know, we liked the outside, but we wouldn't like go camping or anything like that. So this is really where I got to like play outside and hike the most and just, really bond with the natural land.
Yeah. So how has it been like being on the other side of things?
It's
and
been
seeing little people that could have been you 10 years ago.
It's been so exciting. I think because I know the impact that it had on me, I just feel even more like passionate and driven to try and make this a great experience and hopefully have a similar impact on as many of them as possible. And I mean, when I was a camper, I remember idolizing my counselors. I thought they were like the coolest people in the whole world. So it's definitely really fulfilling to get to be on this part. Exactly. I would like to label myself, not to label myself the coolest person in the world, but I became who I thought was the coolest person.
Right. Yeah.
I just have so much respect for all the counselors that came before me, because obviously there are we're in a public park, you know, there are things we need to do to make things safe, to make things interesting, and they made it look so effortless growing up, and that's part of what made me fall so seamlessly into it and love it so much. I had no idea how much work was going into it as well. Yeah, and then even like some of my old teachers are here, which has been a funny transition. Mr. Flower, who he does the PEEP program now, he was my counselor for a lot of years, and he remembered me, which is really exciting.
That's nice.
And I'm supposed to call him Matt now, which I don't know if I'll ever be able to do.
That's funny. So other than like talking about water stuff, do you have any parts of the park or any like animals or any activities in specific that you like are really passionate about here?
I really love plants.
Okay.
And so any time that a kid is excited about learning about like what's this plant, why is it growing here, that's what really excites me. And I also love whenever they get a chance to ID things. We use this great app on our phones because I don't know nearly everything, called Seek, where a lot of times they'll find like a slug or a pretty flower or something, they'll bring it over, and then we can use it and identify it using the app, and they'll get to read and learn a little bit about it, and just seeing them getting excited about it. Something I was told once that has stuck with me is there's no greater respect than to call something by its own name. And so getting to see them, like, excited about identifying things, and then from there on calling it the right name and getting excited when they can get remembered is really exciting for me.
That is cool. That's really cool. Do you have any favorite plants that are growing around here in the park?
I love Canada goldenrod.
Goldenrod. That's cool.
It's such a nice bright shock of gold and yellow.
Yeah. Have you read Braiding Sweetgrass?
I'm actually in the process of reading it right now. Last night I read the maple syrup chapter, and I almost started crying.
Yeah. That's par for the course. Have you read the Asters and Goldenrod chapter yet?
Yes.
Okay. That's beautiful.
If you haven't read it, Braiding Sweetgrass is a book by Robin Wall Kimmerer, in which she weaves together scientific and indigenous teachings about plants. In her first year of college, she explained to her advisor that she wanted to study botany so she could understand why goldenrod and asters looked so beautiful together. She was told, that's not a question for science, but for art.
Yeah, that one got me too. It spoke a lot to me because of... so even I'll try to bring things like that up sometimes, like, how does nature know this? And I think it's exciting when they get like, I don't know. No human knows why this happens. Right. And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Being okay with not knowing. It's not something normally that is like advocated in science. you
Yeah.
know, like, but that's a part of.
And that's definitely what we tell them. That's like the best question is when you stump adults too,
Yeah.
when no one can answer
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's cool. I was thinking about like how valuable this is for the kids after the past year and a half that they've had. Are they still like quasi-normal children? Have we ruined our kids forever through the pandemic? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we've had parents tell us that this is like the first activity that they've done, the first time they've been around other kids in the past year and a half. And I think that excitement is definitely pretty palpable.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see them right now, how excited they are to be working together. I think that comes in a lot with, like, team building. They've just come together as such a group, and they've been so well behaved, such good listeners. And I think, yeah, it definitely just makes everyone appreciate being outside and being together more.
Yeah, that's good. So you're studying environmental education right now?
Yeah, right now,
Environmental
undergrad environmental science,
Okay.
and then hoping to go into education after
Okay.
that.
Cool. And how are you hoping for this experience here this summer to inform that? Not only with camp, but with the other things you're doing at the Urban Ecology Center.
Yeah, I think it's great just to see where people are at in terms of their relationship and understanding to the environment. Because as of right now, it's definitely not a super accessible subject. And that's kind of my goal, hopefully in the future as an educator, is to find those different pathways to make it exciting, accessible, interesting, and understandable to everyone. So summer camp right now, it's a great way to meet a broad range of kids who have a lot of experience out here or none, and with this age group, what kind of gets them into it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get to work, with adults, families. And I love how Urban Ecology acts so much as a community center, even kind of a more of a nature-themed community center. So everyone coming here isn't even necessarily super experienced or interested in the outdoors, but finding ways to really make them care, because if you don't care about it, there's no way you're going to protect it.
Yeah.
Paige had to return to the kids, so I stuck around to watch them play around in one of the natural play areas at Riverside Park. Some of the kids stopped by to tell me about their discoveries from the week, and I got the feeling that a few of them might be in Paige's shoes one day, teaching another generation of Milwaukee kids about this wonderful place and how to care for it.